Thanks for joining us, Sam. We're looking ahead to the new season. How are things about the place?
Yeah, no, good. Like, really good feel. Nice to be back. Yeah, just getting ready to hit the ground running now and start the season.
And a few new faces in the building. Talk to me about how the summer's gone building the squad up.
Yeah, I think it was important for us that we recruited the right players. I think we had a strong finish to the season in terms of like the last 3 games unbeaten after a pretty tough season last season, to be fair. I think the recruitment of obviously Layla and Bryony towards the end of the season was huge for us. And I think we probably classed them as new signings this season. They were 2 names that straight away at the back end of last season we wanted to make sure that we kept for this season, which we did, which was great. And then I think then we just knew some other areas that we wanted to strengthen. And I absolutely think we've done that. Brought some people back that we know well and others that we don't know so much about. But yeah, hopefully it'll all have a big impact going forwards.
I think familiarity is a bit of a theme as well. Looked back and spoken to a few of the girls, and one of the things they've said is there's a lot of the group and the core group that have remained, and then, as you say, a few faces in there that have been with you before. How important is that to build success? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, obviously, the season before last, we obviously didn't manage to keep like a huge amount of that squad. So going into last season, we knew it was always going to be tough. I think we reported into the first day of the season with like 5-6 players. So it was a huge recruitment piece last year. And I think when you try and put that many new players together, I think we always knew it was going to be a tough season. So it was important for us this year that we tried to keep the majority of the squad, which I believe that we have done. Obviously, there's been a couple that have decided to kind of go elsewhere, and a couple that have like moved away. So, but yeah, majority of the squad, I think there was 15 that we managed to kind of keep. That was really important for us, and then we knew, like I say, just the areas that we wanted to try and strengthen and add to. And I think that'll stand us in better stead going into the start of this season.
Hannah Sparks been named among your leadership group for the new season as vice captain. Talk to me about that decision and what you saw from her last season to make that happen.
Yeah, I think like Sparks is a footballer, like speaks for herself, but I think one thing that she possesses is those leadership qualities. And I spoke to her about this last season. I think she'd be a real motivator on the pitch. She's got a really good understanding of the game. She's really good with players. So yeah, it was a bit of a no-brainer going into this season that we wanted to name her vice captain, especially the position she plays. And yeah, I think we've already seen she's stepped into that role really well so far.
We talk about the competitive nature of Tier 3 women's football a lot. Have a look at that league coming into this season. It's a bit harder to judge than other seasons, do you think?
Yeah, it's. I say it every year. Like I feel like Tier 3 just gets harder and harder. There's more full-time sort of like MDTs and head coaches and stuff. I think the one thing that we look at this year is there's probably not that full-time sort of playing environment that we've seen like in previous seasons with like your Forest and your Burnleys and things like that. So I think it's really hard to look at the league this season. I think there's been some teams that have come out and been quite open and honest at like what their ambition is. So I think they've set the stall out quite easily. You've obviously then got new teams that are coming up into this league, what we never know much about. But I don't think Tier 4 is any walkover. So any teams that have got promoted from Tier 4, they'll always be like of a decent standard and feel like they've got a bit of a point to prove. So yeah, I think the competitiveness of the league just gets harder each year.
And as a group, how are you treating that ambition and setting aims? Is it something you say between each other out loud, or is it a bit more of a let's see what happens?
Yeah, no, I think internally we know sort of like what we want to try and achieve. For me this year, it's absolutely about making sure like the players enjoy it, that they enjoy playing in a style that is enjoyable. Like I say, at the end of the day, a lot of our players and same as other clubs are got full-time jobs. So like football's a bit of a release for them and things like that. So we've got to make it an enjoyable environment. But at the same time, we want to be competitive as well. And that, like I say, that will hopefully drive us forward to where we want to be.
Season starts against Liverpool Feds. Talk to me about them as an opposition and as an opening game.
I think Feds have always been one of the toughest like opponents. Like we always seem to play them and they always give us like a really decent game. So yeah, an away trip to them at the start of the season will be a tough game. Obviously, I think they've lost a few players like this season, but then they're just starting to put like the recruitment out at the minute. So they've obviously recruited well again. So yeah, I think it'll be one of them where your first few games are always tougher because you don't know too much about the opposition and what to expect. But I think fundamentally we've just got to go there, make sure we're really clear on our in possession, out of possession like principles and what we're trying to go after, and yeah, hopefully get off to a good start.
And finally, it feels like a long time since the last home game of last season. How much are you looking forward to getting back in front of home fans?
Definitely. Like I say, I was disappointed last year. I don't think we give the home fans too much to shout about. I think our home form was really poor last year, and it's something that we spoke about quite a lot. So I think that's something that we're conscious of this season, that we want to make it harder at Mickleover for teams to come and play, and we need to really put our stamp on that home ground this season going forward. So I think that's definitely something internally that we're conscious of and we want to put right this year.
Good luck for the new season,
Cheers.
Sam.